Hello! Wow, my throat right now. Hello, everyone. I am Tacet, and welcome to the Gems of War Invasion stream. Week 11, Day 2. Normally, if that was a recording, I could just restart, but fail. well, here we are. Anyways, today is mainly going to be delves because of the Hall of Guardians event. We're not going to be maxing it, mainly because I feel like we'd waste come on, load. Way too many gems if we were to go and do that. So, yeah, we're just going to be doing the normal required amount in order to get just the minimum for all rewards, which is all the way up to stage 8 here for the 7,000 points. I think it's like 15,000 total, 20,000, that's just probably more towards 20,000. What's the leaderboard looking like? Leaderboard looks still quite contested. How many people went for 500? Currently 0? Really? No, not a single person bothered getting to 500. Well, it is on a Tuesday. It's really hard to fit all the battles in to get it from 500 on one single day. We'd have to start all the way in the morning, and we'd still be streaming right now. Like, we'd have to have started, like, 12 hours ago, and we probably would still be doing it. So I guess that's kind of understandable. But, yeah, we're just doing the absolute minimum to get all rewards, basically. And we're mainly just doing that for the orb and the extra... why on earth did that bring that up? But we're mainly just bringing it for the 2 orbs and the vault key. Somewhere's in there, right there. And I guess the shards too. It's a decent amount of shards for doing nearly nothing. All we have to do is just throw, like, I think we did it with tier 2 last time, which is 90 gems, so that's ridiculously easy. But anyways, yeah, this is gonna be the main thing we're doing. Why did I go out then? We're probably not gonna be doing too much invasions today, and saving that for the other days, but let's get into it. So, rewards. We'll just go buy them immediately because I already know I'm gonna need at least the first 2. Might need the third, but we'll buy it as we need it, whenever we do end up needing them. Also, hello everyone! Hello Danny! Hello Avalone! Hello Mehmet! Hello Dragon Ball Z fan! Hello Captain! Hello Nelson! Hello Zach! Hello McCoy! Hello Gustavo! Hello Marcelo! And hello Steve! Also, Salty getting partnered on Twitch the other day reminded me that I still need to do that for YouTube side. There is a YouTube's partnership kind of thing. They have like a sponsorship system, which is basically the same thing as Twitch's subscription system, where it's like $5 a month and all those similar features. You get like emotes and a little icon next to your name and all those like small little things. I might do that eventually. No content or anything would be locked behind it. It would just be for donation's sake. But anyways, let's just go fight this thing. Seriously, why is this so laggy right now? Like right when I start to stream. I'll need to really look into the streaming program or something. I don't know for sure if it's exactly my connection, the program, or what, but lately when we've been streaming, it is very, very laggy. And it can't be tabs, because right now I have 2 tabs open. I have the one for the notifications, and I have the one to see chat, and that's it. So I don't know what's up with it. Anyways, we're not going to be using this team, because this team is way too, I don't want to say strong, but way too weird to run at a lower level delve. So we're just going to go right into Mountain Crusher and do that for the first probably 5 or so, and then we'll finally switch into I, and just go from there. Let my mom stream the chest opening for the Mythic on Friday. We can have her start with VIPs. No, she's not going to start with VIP chests. No. We're gonna lose all of our gems if we do it that way, is the only problem with that. Also, she wouldn't really get excited because she doesn't know, like, what the value of each thing is either. That would be pretty funny, though. I just don't feel like that would work, though. Lag. Go. Oh, well. At least hopefully the output isn't lagging. Like, obviously the game is, but hopefully the talking isn't. Also, hello, Jamie! Hello, Steve! Welcome! Loading screen? Any day now? You know you want to. There we go. Oh, Val Raven, very first battle. Well, if we can keep that luck up, that'll be great. That didn't take any time at all. We go into our first delve, and boom, loot. I'll take it. We'll take brown to red into whatever cascades. I might need to restart something if it's going to be this laggy. Wow. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I honestly do not know what's actually causing this at all. I've tried many solutions. None of them have worked. Alright, we'll throw this down again. And just get the hit on it. And don't you dare escape on the very first battle on the easiest possible thing. Well, we wouldn't even be opening any gold keys. No one will ever open any gold keys, no. We don't actually, speaking about gold keys, I don't know when we're actually going to bother ever opening gold keys again. Gold keys are not really needed anymore. The previous time you would throw down gold keys was when a new kingdom comes into the game, but there's not another kingdom coming into the game for like another 9 to 12 months. So when exactly do we use gold keys now? I'm thinking if there's no signs of another kingdom coming in about February, I believe we're going to throw all of our keys, because there is still something we need out of gold keys. We need all the commons that have been introduced to the game in the last several months, or, you know, by then, the last several months. So things like the, oh, what's that thing's name? I forgot, the Nightmare, that one horse thing, that one green wolf from last week, like, commons like those is the main thing we need from that. But other than that, there's no new kingdoms, so we're not getting those commons into the game. So, yeah, I don't know exactly when we'll do that. We'll have to figure it out, but, gold keys aren't dead content. There's still a lot of stuff you need out of them. Minor trait stones a lot of players need. If nothing else, you get gems out of them. It's a pretty decent way to get gems if you had like an absurd amount of gold. Other than that, it is needed for commons and rares. And it's not like commons and rares have stopped coming into the game. They just haven't, they just won't be coming in through the game via new kingdoms, nor through new factions, because even the rare in a new faction doesn't actually come from the drop table at all. Okay, I use this dead. Yeah, gold keys are still useful. They're just slightly less useful to a player that owns nearly everything. And the time when you would throw them is not really designated anymore. It's now whenever you feel like it. So I'm still going to be saving it for as long as possible. And then when it looks like... Basically, I think my game plan is, as soon as we need a common to specifically upgrade a kingdom, is when I will go and max it out. Because most of the time, we're not going to bother doing that through Glory. I did for the little green guy, mainly because I needed it for Stormheim to 11 stars. But I didn't do it for the most recent one that came in, or prior to that, the Nightmare, just because it's not going to be needed for that kingdom for a while. But, yeah, once we see, like, 1 or 2 commons or rares that we need to have maxed in order to get a kingdom upgrade, then we'll probably throw every gold key we have. And by then, that should be enough to get the troop to Mythic. And that'll probably be the game plan for it. Also, can you guys get rid of your barrier? Luckily, he has nothing else that can actually place barrier at this point, so let's do that. Get her a little explosion. That's actually one of the most hardest battles in one of these delves as well, once you get to the higher stats. Well, not the absolute hardest, but they like one-shot and everything, similar to how it is in Guild Wars. We got a 1.2, what were these two? A 1.15 and a 1.15, so we'll just go around from here then. Take the higher multiplier and go around. And the reason you do it in multiplier order, it really only matters for faction events every Tuesday, but it's really important to go in multiplier order just because it does give you slightly more points. And regardless of if you're making leaderboard or not, this game mode is based on a point system, so you do want to have the higher amount of points per battle thingy. You wouldn't want to just go and reduce your points for no reason. It's not that big of a difference, but doing a multiplier order is anywhere from about 50 to 300 additional points, give or take a little bit, but it's definitely worth doing because it doesn't take any time at all. It just takes like a few seconds, check them, and do it in order. Also, generally, the higher level is the higher multiplier. Not always the case, though, so you do have to be wary and actually double check. But you kind of get used to which ones are for what after a while. And at this point, we've had delves for like, what, a month now? So we're kind of used to it by now. And I know some people have been asking me to cover more delve stuff. I will be probably after a new delve comes in about 2 weeks, I believe it is. Not next week, but the following week, if I'm not mistaken. We're getting a new delve, or sometime around there. Oh, no, it's the Friday of that week. So 2 weeks from now, the Friday 2 weeks from now, I believe is a new delve. So around that time, I think I'll go over, like, because at that point, they might do something with Dragon's Eye as well. But, or I don't know, maybe prior we'll actually go over Dragon's Eye teams before they nerf Dragon's Eye teams. Ideally, I wanted to get it on my other account, but it just takes a while, given that we mainly want to do progress on our main account. But, yeah, we'll still do something going over it. Because right now, basically every team is whatever Dragon's Eye team you can build, as far as the best thing. I've gone over it a few times, but I've never, like, done a video like, here's every Dragon's Eye team for delves. Because that is the meta of delves right now, basically, for the most part. Just run Dragon's Eye into anything. Okay, we'll go and, what do we need? We'll take green. We're using Mountain Crusher right now just because it's not effective on the lower levels. Also, Mountain Crusher is actually safer from a durability perspective. It's a lot slower, but it's safer. So in these, it's quicker because they have such low stats. Until about 50, it is quicker. What's the most souls a gnome can drop? 5,000. Its drop table is 1,000 souls, 2,500 souls, 5,000 souls, and a vault key. Though I still have yet to see a vault key from it. But it does supposedly have a higher chance of dropping a vault key. By higher chance, it's a higher chance. It's probably higher than the others, but still like so low that you never see it. Yeah, has anyone actually gotten vault keys when it's not the vault event from a soul gnome? Has anyone done that yet? I have not seen a single one. And we've gotten about, I want to say 24 soul gnomes since then. All off event. Well, most of those off event. But anyways, let's take this final battle. Should be pretty easy. Not much to really worry about in these battles. You've gotten 3? Wow, that's really nice. Yeah, I guess I'm just getting a little bit unlucky. I definitely do not need the souls, that's for sure. I don't mind it on the other account because that's actually probably... Well, I don't know if it'd be more useful than a vault key. But it's like, we actually need souls on the other account. On this account, we get a bunch of souls. It's like, oh, yay, souls. Because there's just nothing to use it for. And even if they do start adding stuff to use it for, we have so many souls that even if they do add a soul sink, we have enough that's like, okay, well, that's not going to be an issue. And even if they did add something that requires, like, let's say 10,000 souls, or 10 million souls, I mean, or something, well, that's still not that big of an issue either, because all we have to do is just go use, like, a Ferris raw farming team for a while. Ooh, 8 mythic ingots, 8 and 8. That's what I like to see in a bunch of shards. But yeah, these events are really good for accumulating shards, that's for sure. If it does anything, it at least does that very well. Also, that reminds me, what faction should I go do? I was kind of doing the crypt, but the one big issue with using crypt right now is we're gonna reach a point where if we do not get the pure faction done, which I think is quite plausible that that's not happening anytime soon, we're kind of stuck because I can't upgrade Lady Mirana unless we get 2 more copies of Lady Mirana. Maybe we'll get super lucky and that will happen, but or actually 3 more copies because we would still want to try and attempt a 4-copy team of her. So, oh no, yeah, we would still need 3 more because we have 6 currently. That'd bring us to 9, and ascending would bring us to 4. But yeah, that wouldn't really be worth it. But I don't know, we'll see. I should probably just go into Hall of Guardians though. It's the one I should have upgraded first, but for whatever reason I did not. I honestly do not know why. I'm saving like the best faction to upgrade as the very last one I upgrade. I don't really know what my logic was in that, but that's kind of how we went at this point. And I can't really like not undo what we've already done, or you know, undo what we did, but I don't know. I probably should just go put it in the Hall of Guardians. It would make sense that during a Hall of Guardians event to put all the shards in the Hall of Guardians anyways. But probably should have been putting like all of them in there from the beginning. Should already have it maxed. We could have 12.2, or 12.2, what am I saying? We could have 12-star White Helm right now if we would have. Which is definitely nice, that's for sure. Can I just use a orb on Lady Mirana? Yes, but that'd be wasting an entire orb if I did. I want to waste as few blue orbs as humanly possible. I'm trying to get a large collection for when almost every kingdom in the game reaches 10 stars. Because at that point, we're going to need a lot of orbs if we expect to max out literally everything the second it comes out. But yeah, that's mainly why I've been so hesitant to use a single orb. Even though it seems like we're in the state where we actually need to start upgrading stuff, We won't really need to start leveling stuff until about half a year to a year from now, when nearly every kingdom is nearing 10 star or above. Especially when every kingdom, or nearly every kingdom's above 10 stars. Then every new troop that ever gets introduced to the game needs to be mythic to the second you own it. Or the second it gets released. And that's obviously going to cost a lot of orbs, or a lot of gems, or a lot of shards, or a lot of everything. Everything is what it will cost. Well, we're going to move that down, get a nice mountain crusher. See what we can do from there. We'll try for the red there. A nice mountain crusher again. Could get like an explosion towards the end there. And he is still in kill range, or at least the little baby dragon is. Move that down, get our explosion. Oh, so hello, Medieval, welcome. Oh, congrats, Chad, on finally getting Dawnbringer. Very, very nice. Yeah, it takes a while, but once you have it, it's really, really nice to have. I personally feel like it's worth the grind. It's one of those weapons that's just versatile for nearly everything. And there's not a single game mode you wouldn't use it in. You can use it in raids, you can use it in invasions, you can do it in delves, you can use it in PvP. I forgot to take this 1.3 fail. Should have taken this one first. But yeah, Dawnbringer's a really nice weapon. I wish they would add more mythic weapons. It's the only weapon in the game that currently covers 3 colors. We need a second Dawnbringer. They are planning on eventually doing that, or at least based on what they said in the past, they're planning on eventually doing that. If they're still planning on that, it's questionable. They've mentioned things before and then never did it. But I am hoping that they do add more mythic weapons. At one point, they said they were planning on doing it once every 3 months, but then they never did. But that'd be cool if they eventually did do that. Though that would start getting hard for newer players. Could you imagine having to farm 5 Dawnbringers after a year? Like 1 year from now, there just being 5 Dawnbringers in the game. Or, you know, Dawnbringer-like weapons that use 3 colors. Hello, Popomini. Welcome. What banner am I using? I am currently using +2 brown, +1 red, -1 purple. I use this pretty much always with this team just because we need the +2 brown for Mountain Crusher or Dragon's Eye, either or. And the +1 red, it costing us the 1 purple, is mainly just so we get Megavore, though we, in some instances, it's actually just better to just have the +2 brown and that's it. But there's also the +2 brown, +1 blue, but I guess that kind of does the exact same thing. But I don't know, anything that has +2 brown is what you should use, basically, is the bottom line. What would you like to see a new Dawnbringer do? Transform. No, I'm just kidding. No, we do not need another transform. That's actually a good question. I believe they asked that once, and then no one really bothered posting anything to the forum. If it was a convert, they mentioned this in the past, so if they were to ever do it, they'd be so ridiculously powerful, and they would definitely be something that would be mythic weapon tier. Is if they ever made something like Alchemist, Apothecary, stuff like that, where you have a single target convert to a certain color as mythic weapons, and do that for all 6 colors, and have some kind of effect theme to it. So like red would do a bunch of burn and a bunch of AoE damage, blue would be some kind of support thing, and you'd get to convert to blue, and, you know, stuff like that. But, I don't know, if they did that, that would be very, very viable. And it would also be an end-game option to things like Alchemist, Moneylender, or, I mean, Alchemist, Valkyrie, Apothecary, stuff like that. Because right now, those low-rarity troops, things that are, like, rare to Epic, in that little category of select a color and then convert it into that color, those 6 troops, technically 7 if you count Keeper of Souls, those 6 or 7 are, or particularly those 6, are all low-rarity things that you get pretty much within your first month of playing. But there's no, like, really big end-game option for any of those. So if they made a mythic weapon for all 6 of those, that'd actually be pretty cool. It'd be something hard to obtain. Newer players could still use the very cheap and easy to obtain and still very powerful, cheaper options. And, I don't know, it'd be kind of cool. But that's, well, probably one of the main things I would love to see from mythic weapons. And what would be nice about them is it almost doesn't even matter what the effect is, just the fact that it has that convert will make it viable. Why do you think it is better King Bloodhammer or Megavore? Depends on the context of the battle. If it doesn't matter if you lose the battles, and it just matters about speed, Bloodhammer is better. If it matters if you win the battle, or if you're up against very, very high stats, like Delves, Megavore is definitely better. But it depends on the context of the battle, on which one's better in what instance. And obviously, if you're using like a skull spam team or something like that, obviously Bloodhammer's better than using a Megavore. Megavore is only really good when you're doing a lot of cast damage, or if you're up against something that just has absurd stats, that the instant kill is just really good value. Technically, we could be using something else for these earlier battles instead of just these Megavores and everything. The Weaver's still really good for these lower battles. Megavore, not so much. Actually, at this point, it would actually be better, I should have probably just done that, using 2 Queen Auroras with a Megavore. I mean, not a Megavore, with a Arachnine Weaver, and then just instantly get that up and win. You know what, we might do that for the next few battles. Just to replace all the Megavores for now, and then once we finish up to like level 50 or 60, we then go put in like actual legitimate troops. Okay. Because if we did that, we'd get mana up in like 5 seconds. We'd take like 2 manas, boom, dead. We 1-turn Mountain Crusher, that gives us everything, and then we just go crazy from there. The only issue with that is we'd be using 2 less colors, but we're not really casting them at all, so it doesn't really matter. We're just casting Weaver into Mountain Crusher, and that's it. We're just looping the 2 of those together over and over again. Should probably take that skull. But since we didn't, we're not silenced, so we can go do that. And then we just kill it with this. But yeah, let's go do that real quick. There's really no point in us having Megavore right now, other than, I guess, the random instant kill, but it's not too needed at the moment. Claim rewards. Ooh, a 3.9. Yeah, this faction does get pretty good multiplier. Ooh, that's what I want to see. Pure shards with some legendary ingots. Oh, we already got an orb. It is so ridiculously easy to get this event done. I don't know if they did that deliberately or what, but this event is, I almost want to say, way too easy. Like, compared to the rest of the game, it is absurd how ridiculously easy it is to complete this event, but I don't mind. That's kind of nice. Great to see them not doing like a gigantic gem sink and actually giving us some pretty decent rewards. But yeah, it's the rewards for this is just way, way higher than like any other game mode. Even if you were just getting Delve loot, it's already pretty high. But you're getting Delve loot on top of the decent rewards that barely take any battles to complete. Okay, anyways, let me go and what am I looking for? I'm looking for Queen Aurora because why not? So let's go Queen Aurora, put the Weaver up. I wasn't kidding when I said this. And let's go change our banner to, I guess, is a +2 per round, wherever that is. We'll switch it back after a few delves, but this will be quicker for these initial few. We'll just go pure Arachnine Weaver spam. Now, what are my thoughts on Anti-Divine Mythic coming out this Friday? It's going to be too weak. It's definitely going to be too weak. It's probably one of those mythics I would say skip if you don't have that many resources. I'll still be getting it because we get every mythic in the game and every troop that ever gets into the game. But I personally don't feel like it's that worth it. Divines aren't as strong as they used to be. And they obviously made that back when they thought Divines would be stronger. And I don't know, I just don't really understand its synergy. I feel like it might have synergy in the future. It's kind of like, what's that one troop? The one from Pan's Veil, the Pan's Veil mythic. I cannot remember her name. It's the one that steals attack and creates some skulls and greens. I feel like it's like that. It's one of those kind of troops where, in theory, it could potentially be very good, but there's no team composition in the game that utilizes it correctly. It's one of those kind of troops where it might be good in the future, but currently is like near useless. So that's basically the new mythic. Of course, after we test it some, we might find it's a little bit better, but from what I saw from her stream yesterday and just from what this card actually is, it just doesn't seem that good. Definitely wouldn't really consider it a mythic. There's a lot of mythics I wouldn't consider a mythic, though. There's a lot of really bad mythics. And one of the biggest problem with why there's so many bad mythics is it's really hard to balance a very high mana cost troop. Okay, do we have any 1.3s? Also, why on earth is this battle one of the hardest tier 3 battles, a 1.15? Because that's Night Hag, which has a 1 in 3 chance to convert you, which is actually one of the highest, if not the highest, convert rate in Delve from an enemy, which is very annoying, to say the least. Anyways, let's go do these battles, make sure we do the right multiplier order. How many people have top place in leaderboard with 20 to 30 level only? Probably like 90% of the leaderboard. That's basically how delves are played, especially by people who can't actually get far, but it's also because just for time constraints. It's obviously a lot quicker to go do the tier 20 battle a lot of times over than to go all the way, especially on a Tuesday when you might only have like an hour or two to play. It's a lot better just to spam the very early one than it is to bother going deep into it. I personally wish they would give more points for actually delving deeper and not just spamming it, but I hope they never like completely remove the capability of spamming it, because it does work very well for people who don't have as much time, as well as obviously newer players who can't bother to get deep into delves just because they don't have the stats to do so. Any codes today? Yeah, we'll have a code in a little bit, probably after we finish the delves for the current event. Once we get all the rewards for it, we'll probably give it out. Then we'll do all the other dailies and then just end it from there. The stream is probably going to go for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Because doing delves normally does take a little bit longer, even if just doing the minimum. And that's one of the reasons why people do the tier 20s. If we were just to spam tier 20 until we got all rewards, I think it would take under an hour compared to about the 2 hours that's going to take us. It would cost us slightly more gems though, but not by much. It would cost us like maybe 90 more gems or something. Some kind of pretty trivial amount. Or maybe not 90, I mean 150 more gems, which is still pretty minimal. We get that basically in a day. At least off a tribute. Tributes are starting to get very high too. Like the more kingdoms we keep getting upgraded, the higher tribute just keeps getting over and over and over again. It's kind of nice. Who is the worst mythic in my opinion? That's a hard one. There's a lot of really, really bad mythics. I want to say Plague, but there are several things that Plague does get used for. He's just very slow. I don't even know what the absolute worst mythic was. Or is. Let me go double check. So the absolute worst mythic, the one where you'd like pull your hair out if you got it. Well, definitely the mythic treasure, but I don't really count that. That's not technically a mythic. But if you're counting the mythic treasure, obviously the mythic treasure. But also, if you ever gotten a mythic treasure from not the shards, like if you bought it from like the $50 pack or something, go contact support because they can give you like a actual mythic instead of just a treasure. I think they can. Pretty sure they do for that. Because that's a glitch if you get it from anything other than shards. But anyways, what am I looking for? I'm looking for not that. Sort by base rarity. So worst mythic in the game. Abnesius used occasionally. Weavers mainly in Daemon teams and for a nice summoner. Weavers used for delves. Champion of Vandu's used for blue and sometimes tank. Def is used for Deathmark and very occasionally with Crimson Bat in order to do the true damage immediately, so that you can do 4 times damage immediately to divine teams. Doomclaw is sometimes used for his Devourer and also is the best Enrager in the game from a non-casting standpoint. Draculus is basically just a true damage variant. Not really, true damage isn't that good at the moment, but it's still okay. Alma Grim is used for Purple Guild War Day. It's also one of the best impervious troops in the game. It's also one of the best dragons in the game other than Dragon Soul and Wordbreaker. Oriali is pretty decent in that it has decent true damage into poison, into the best poison in the game actually, into a okay summon. Famine is the best drainer other than Sloth, oddly enough. A common being better than the mythic at draining. Guard's Avatar is very occasionally used for one-shotting the enemy team. It's also a hard Daemon counters if they ever become meta again. Gargantaur is probably the worst. Yeah, it's probably Gargantaur as worst mythic in the entire game. Yeah, I say it's Gargantaur, now that I'm looking at all of these. The problem, or it's either Gargantaur or Voice of Orpheus, but Voice of Orpheus actually has a really, 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 really specific use that is the best for, whereas Gargantaur is just useless for everything. But yeah, Gargantaur is probably the worst mythic in the game. It doesn't get enough damage. The things that do give it enough damage, like Sunbird constantly dying, uses the exact same mana as it. The only good part about it is all 3 of its traits are actually amazingly good. But that's the only thing that's really an upside. He has really low durability. He has the ability that is near useless, especially for 22 mana. They should lower that to 20 or just make his ability better or give him some board control or something. But yeah, Gargantaur would probably be the worst mythic. Infernus is really good, probably one of the better ones still. Best burn in game, has Firestorm into Explosion, which is insanely good. I think one of the only troops, if not the only troop, to still have that. Has really high damage still, has a bunch of explosions, gains mana back. It's just great in every regard. JoeConnors is very bad, but it is a barrier option if you don't have Dawnbringer for things like Guild Wars, so it's still useful. Ketris can double kill and triple kill pretty easily. Can also double cast Wind. It's still pretty good. Megavore is mainly used for delves, as well as any high level content. Fairish Ra is one of the best one-shotters in the game. It's also the absolute best soul farmer in the game by a mile and a half. And because of that, it's actually one of the best mythics in the game from a value perspective, simply because it gives you so much more souls and reduces your time greatly in needing to farm souls. Plague is very situationally used. It's a very slow troop, but it's a great disable that keeps their mana low and constantly reduce their stats to a point where you can actually reduce the enemy to, depending on the team, to a point where it's impossible for them to win. The only real big issue is it takes forever to win with Plague. You would normally only use it on defend. Queen Aurora is great for mana accumulation. Sacred Treasure obviously isn't technically a mythic, even though it is. Obviously this would be the worst, but it's not technically a mythic. Scorpius got better since they got rid of the cooldown on it. Still pretty bad, but you still use it for Brown Guild War. Has that Impervious on it too. If I'm not mistaken, it's also the only troop in the game that has the gain +1 to all stats thing that also has immune to stun. So it has that combination going for it. Skady got buffed like huge this patch too. 20 mana cost instead of 25. Still pretty useless, but she's one of the best third slot counters in the game since it drags it right to first. She also has one of the better summons in the game, being able to summon Queen Mab, though Queen Mab does conflict with her coloration, unfortunately. Stonehammer's pretty bad, but it is technically the best tank in the game. Though then again, Gorgolfa and Hero using like Titan to keep constantly gaining barrier can technically be better, but he is still technically the highest scroll mitigation, so he has that going for him, though he is pretty far down there at being useless. Soon there's just a true damage option. Unless you're early game or mid game, I wouldn't really bother. Wild Queen's too inconsistent, but it does have a thematic ability that could be useful in the future, where it creates a mixture of skulls and greens. It's just at the moment this doesn't really work too well. But it's also the only skull spammer, if I'm not mistaken, that also gains attack, specifically attack to first slot, which is kind of cool. World Breaker's insanely good. It's one of the best AoEs in the game that can constantly keep spamming. They actually buffed it in the most recent patch. He got nerfed from the explosion nerf, but everything got nerfed from the explosion nerf that uses explosions. He was the only exploder that actually got buffed because of the explosion nerf. Ubistet's still really good at double killing, though he can no longer double kill. He's also good with Roshkas. Undyne's good blue counter, and also good with blues, oddly enough. Voice of Orpheus is only used for one purpose and one purpose only. It would probably be one of the worst, but it's specifically used for the purpose of countering silence. Silence is not really that big of a mechanic right now, but it is the only troop in the game that has immune to silence while also having cleanse. Not only cleanse off of every yellow it takes, but also off its ability. So it has that aspect going for it, making it the best silence counter in the game. And that's the only thing you would ever use Voice of Orpheus for. And obviously most people don't bother running silence, so you never really see him around, but that is what he's used for. War is pretty far down there, but he does have pretty good one-shot potential. He's also somewhat okay while using skulls. They ended up nerfing him a while back when he was already pretty bad, so he's one of the worst. Wolf Garrick's also pretty far down there. Ubistet is way better, but if you can actually land a kill and secure it with him, he is pretty decent for getting a Devourer, which then gives you an absurd amount of stats. Xenos is pretty far down there. Actually, you know what? Maybe Xenos is actually worse than the other guy. It's a hard toss-up, but he does start to get better as the battle goes on. But then again, so does the other guy. I don't know. I guess it's a toss-up between Gargantaur and Xenos. Xenos has one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to get the achievement for unlocking him. That's about it. Oh, and Yasmin. Yasmin's one of the best entanglers in the game, plus has a really good green spam, kind of like Web Spinner, except not Web Spinner. But anyways, let's go, and that's the rundown. So basically, it's a toss-up between Gargantaur and Xenos as the worst mythic in the game. That's why so few people have that achievement as well, because you would only ever get it for the purpose of the achievement. You would never actually use that troop. There's not a single context where Xenos is actually good. He's also the only, or one of the only, multi-summons in the game that requires you to actually have a condition on top of it. Which is kind of weird because it's Mythic. You would assume that the Mythic would not have the condition, whereas everything else would, but it's kind of the other way around. Everything else doesn't have the condition, whereas the Mythic does. It's weird. How do trait stones work? They have a primary color, which is impossible to really determine by just looking at them, but each Mythic has a primary color, and then both those trait stones are based on it. So let's say it is War. I don't know exactly what his trait stones are off the top of my head, but let's just say that the primary color is red. So if it was red, which I think it is, I'm not certain, but let's just say it's red. If his primary color was red, that means his other two trait stones would be red-blue and red-brown as the two trait stones you would need to upgrade him. But yeah, to my understanding, there's no way to just look at a card and know which two he ends up using. But it has a primary color, and then those two are based on that primary color, as far as the two arcanes you need. And every mythic requires 21 of both the arcanes, for a total of 41 arcane trait stones. Generally, you would use orange orbs on mythics. There's almost no context where you wouldn't use an orange orb on mythics, just because they, their second and third trait are, well, their first trait as well, but particularly their second and third trait are more expensive than any other trait you can ever obtain in the game. So if you're ever going to use an orange orb, using on mythic second and third is the most valuable thing you could use on. Or if you have a big orange one, just throw it on them right when you get a new mythic that you want the traits for. Save it for when you finally get one, and then you can have it maxed immediately. Yeah, orbs, oddly enough, was probably one of the best things they've ever added to the game from a resource perspective, because it works for all aspects of the game. In early game, it helps you to upgrade what you like to use. In mid-game, it helps you to actually get just the standard star levels and everything and kind of just progress through the game. And in late game, it allows you to be a completionist and just get everything maxed. So, yeah, it covers, like, everything so perfectly. Okay, we'll go and, Weaver, do you have enough damage? Yes, you do. Luckily, they're undead. Most undead do have lower HP. Especially, like, the skeleton-like ones, like from Kedar and stuff. At one point, they had as low as 5 HP, like, when the game first started. Back when stats were, like, way, way, way lower. Skeletons would have, like, 3, 4, 5 HP. Even 1 if you didn't have them upgraded. It was pretty funny. Hello, Nick! Oh, you forgot this was live. Well, normally it has a little icon on it if it says live. Also, if the button isn't red, if it's a grayed out thing, click on it, the live button, and it'll make it red, and then it'll go back to where we currently are now in the stream. Because sometimes if it lags or you paused it for a moment, it could be behind by like a minute or a few minutes. They should add an orb gnome. They would never do that. And if they did, it would be so ridiculously rare, the chance of actually getting it. They technically do have an orb gnome. It's Cedric Sparklesack. You just need to get a vault key to go get him. We did end up getting a lot of orbs last time we opened up vault keys. Some really good ones, too. Okay, we should probably switch into Eye soon. We're starting to reach that point where we kind of need to start doing that. Also, why on earth did I just do that on Brown when we're silenced on Brown? We don't use Brown at all. I was like, here, have all the Brown you'll ever need. Which is none. Come on, Weaver. I know you want to. That'd be funny if we died all once. It would make no difference, though. We're doing such early battles that even if we lose something, we don't need Renown, so it's not doing anything. Okay, that'll kill that out, and then we can just Weaver kill the other one. Alright, hope we can Weaver kill the other one. Throw that down. Get a nice Weaver down and go from there. Okay, take the skull dead. Okay, on to the next one. What extra rewards do we have? Grab those. And we only have 3 stages to go, though these obviously take way longer than the other ones. But let's keep going. Yeah, I guess I'll finally switch into Eye. Let's just go back to a normal team. I just put the instant kills in, get the Megavores in there, get the Eye in there. And the only other thing we need is to switch our banner. Actually, I don't know. Maybe we'll just keep it as double brown. I don't really want to get rid of our Arachnine Weaver's +1, because we are using that quite a bit still. I don't know, maybe I should just do that permanently for all the delves. Because it does make Weaver a bit weaker. And even though we're using 2 Megavores, we don't actually need to cast Megavore most of the time. We're not using him for his cast in most instances. Unless we finally need to start using him, like when Dragon's Eye gets nerfed. But, if it gets nerfed. But, oh wait, what am I doing? We could do that. But, yeah. It's not really, like, when do we ever bother casting him? We just normally don't need it. As I say that, we need to cast him. But, we don't need him for his ability, more so than for his instant kill plus his impervious. Hello, William! Welcome! Yeah, it is really nice getting a copy of Cedric Sparklesack, especially now that they added Greed, and especially now that they nerfed Explosions, and you just use Bronze Lock Pistol as the new Gorgolfa. It's pretty nice. It's a little bit of an issue because you need to, like, use 2 to 3 troops to really make what used to be Gorgolfa. But it's really effective Bronze Lock Pistol spam. It's probably one of the best hero combinations that you can really do, is the whole Greed plus Bronze Lock plus Cedric combo. It's very strong, especially for newer players. Like, the earlier you get that, and it's pretty accessible as well. Bronze Lock Pistol is not hard to get. You get that like by level 100 or 200 or so, somewhere in that level range. Greed is easy to get and get traded. It's only a rare. And the only other thing you need is Cedric Sparkle Sack. He's the only hard component out of any of that stuff. Just getting a copy of Cedric Sparkle Sack. And for that, you would need a lot of vault keys, or a lot of luck from your vault keys. It is technically possible to get in one vault key. Oh, good thing I checked. We got a 1.3. Hello, P-Mythic. Welcome. Yeah, if anyone has any other questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. And we'll make sure to go over them. Alright, what else do we need to move around? We'll take a brown over, go throw an eye down, go from there. Try getting that down. We could go and just explode from the back there. Go and... do we need another eye? I don't think we really need it. Let's go for that. He... Whoa, whoa, whoa! He just tried transforming us. I didn't even notice that. That would have been really bad. Because the rest of the time we'd have to deal with that toadstool. I guess it wouldn't have been too big a deal just because it just wouldn't matter because we'd just win anyways, but I don't know, it's definitely could be frustrating when we have to deal with that. Like, even if it's not going to, like, reduce our points, just having one whole less troop like that, it could, reduce down the speed, especially if it did it on hero or something. There's currently 0 troops in the game that have immune to transform, or actually that's not true. There's 0, hey, we got the kill off of Megavore. There are 0 player-owned troops that have immune to transform. The only things that have immune to transform currently is the non-player owned version of Zugoth and all towers from Invasion. So only raids and evasions have it. I really wish they would eventually add it for a couple reasons. One is it would counter Megavore. Megavore doesn't really need to be countered. He's actually decently balanced. I was expecting him to be a lot stronger. He still is insanely strong, but he's not like as insanely strong as I thought he would be. But still, there's still no counter to his instant kill, so it would be cool if they added something for that. And other than that, the delves, they could put it on one of the delve battles so that people can't Megavore specifically a certain battle. And at higher stats, that would be pretty convenient, just to make sure that people don't try cheesing it by just constantly instant kill spamming, which is basically the whole meta of delves, at least at the higher level. Like that. Yeah, transform immunity and instant kill immunity. They really should give that to actual troops eventually. Like, they wouldn't even need to touch Eye or Megavore ever if they did that. And they did that with every other mechanic that ever got really strong. They did it with Mana Burn. They did it with Devour. At one point, there was no immunity to Devour. And they did it with... there's one other mechanic that started with not having an immunity, but then they give it immunity. Oh, Mana Drain. But yeah, they did it for all 3 of those. They could definitely do it for instant kill, too, and stuff, and transform. Alright, we'll take a brown. Get a eye down, and hopefully hit the right one. That is not the right one, but at least we got mana, which is just kill off of that. Which ones are better for getting mythics? 50 bulks of VIP chests is better than any other method in the entire game for gaining mythics. The only problem with that is opening a 50 bulk of VIP chests is 2,250 gems, which obviously is a lot of resources. You could do it 10 at a time and save some, and do it that way. But I don't know, I personally just like doing it in 50s. But yes, VIP chests do technically have the highest rate of mythics. Gem chests aren't too far behind. Relative to cost, there's a 10 times difference between the two, but relative to cost, it's only a 2 times difference. You have twice the chance of a VIP chest to get a mythic than you do off a gem key, respectively, as far as cost is concerned. But you're getting a lot less drops off a VIP chest, oddly enough. You're getting a lot higher rarity drops, but you're getting less drops overall. You're getting about 3 times more drops from gem keys. And while most of those are lower rarity stuff, you're still technically getting more. Also, there's still currently no, there's no, what do they call it? There's no ingots in VIP chests, whereas there are ingots in gem keys. I guess to a degree that could almost be a bad thing than a good thing. But still, for ingot completion, gem keys are better at that, because it is still really hard. If you're spending 0 money, it's actually, in the current state of the game, ridiculously hard to get every epic weapon maxed. It's harder than getting literally every legend and mythic weapon max, oddly enough. I have no clue why it's like that, but it is. It's kind of like the whole arcane trait stone dilemma, where it's harder to get arcane trait stones for everything than it is to get celestials. Because you eventually have way more celestials than you need arcanes. And then you need to farm arcanes, which is a lower rarity one instead of a higher rarity one. And same thing basically happened with ingots as well, where the epic ingot is rarer than the legendary and mythic ingot somehow. How they managed to do that, I do not know, but they've managed to do some really weird things. The other always weird thing that's been in this game is the fact that losing your defend team in PvP has always been better than winning it, just from a resource perspective. Why they incentivized it that way, who knows, but it's been like that since day one. And it's been through a couple different formats too, and literally every format it has been better to lose than to win. Like, I could understand, like, maybe they had one format where they, like, accidentally made it that way, but they've had, like, 4 or 5 different PvP formats, and literally every one has been better to lose defend than to win. The only place where defending actually matters is Guild Wars. And they might eventually do something to PvP to make it more like Guild Wars, where, you know, it actually matters what you say as your defense. Yeah, I get them occasionally during PvP. It's one of the better ways to farm it, is just keep doing PvP over and over and over again. The other way to get them is gem keys. They're the 2 best methods to try getting epic ingots. Well, mainly because they're basically the only 2 methods, for the most part, of getting epic ingots. Yeah, you do have to play a lot. Like, a lot. And I have been doing PvP, even though my PvP thing has been low. I've just been doing more so on casual PvP rather than actual PvP. Because now that they've made leaderboard for PvP useless again, or pretty much useless, it's still good for the epic ingots, but nothing else. Since they made it a lot more useless than it used to be in the past, I've just been gold farming fire bombs in casual PvP. Oh, so hello, Assassin, welcome. Team ideas for those of us who only have 1 Megavore and no Arachnean Weaver? Well, you can use Queen of Roar instead of Weaver. In some factions, you can get away with using Yasmin better. For example, this faction actually does use Yasmin a little bit better than it uses Weaver, depending on the context of your team. Mainly because when you reach the higher level battles, you need Entangle in order to make sure the first and final battle doesn't hit you too hard. Other than that, trying to think of... Wow, I have short-term memory. I cannot play and talk at the same time, gosh. That is just something I cannot do. I don't know how, but after like 2 years of this, I still can't do that effectively. It is just really, really hard to focus like fully on both at once. But anyways, what was I just talking about? Slightly my fault, though. Well, obviously my fault. Let's see. Oh, yes. No, that's the wrong one. What was I just reading? It was literally just right there. Oh, yes. Replacement for Arachnean Weaver. Anyways. But yeah, you'd have to double check the kingdom, or the faction, I mean. In this particular faction, you would normally use replacements like Orgolfa for slot. You would use replacements like, Cockatrice is actually pretty good. Thank you, Cockatrice, for coming up. That's a really good disable of sorts. You can use Yasmin's Chosen, you can use Queen of Roar, which is actually the exact same color, so you don't even need to change anything else. That's actually what I was using originally, and then I switched out. You can use Divinia, you can use... Gorgolfa Divinia is actually really strong for this faction, too, if you need something more mid-level. Fully traded Gorgolfa Divinia into Dragon's Eye and literally any cleanup troop is very strong in this faction. This is the only faction you can run that in, though. They need to change arena rewards. Haven't bothered arena. Oh yeah, arena is really, really bad. The only time I ever do it is if I get a daily task that says go do arena for 10 gems. That's the only time I'll ever bother doing arena. Oh, also, a nice tip that you can do on that. Keep your... I don't personally do that, but keep your arena at, like, the 7th battle. Like, 1 battle before the final battle. And then do the final battle on any day that you finally have the event that says go do the arena for 10 gems. And it still counts the entire thing as if you did all 8 of them. Just from doing the final battle. Hello, Questor. If you convert Valraven into a baby dragon, will you lose the sigils? No. It is nice in that Valraven being transformed does still earn you the reward. Same as treasure gnomes. You do still gain the rewards from transforming them. Transforming does count as a kill. This is also why in Delves, if you get transformed, you lose, or it counts as a kill against you, or you know, it counts as a death. Like if you get transformed and you still win with that transformed troop, it still counts as a death because the way that transform works is it's calculated as a kill. So anything that's based on kill mechanics, like things that boost ratio off of kills or things like that, do occur when something gets transformed. So yeah, you would still get the sigils from it. And if it's a gnome, you'd still get the gnome reward. And yeah, don't be worried about transforming it. I'm still slightly paranoid about that too, even though I know that it won't do anything. Just because you never know. But no, it does count as a kill prior. If we go use like Megavore or something, it'd be really easy to show that. Alright, we'll go move that. Take a eye down. Get a hit. The one use for Gargantaur. I know, right? That actually is probably one of the few uses you'd use Gargantaur for. To double check to see if something actually counts as a kill or not as a kill. Because he's one of the best representations of that. Because any kill that happens in the battle, he will know about. So you can test any kill on if it's a kill. But yeah, that's one of the few things you can actually use Gargantaur for. So I guess he's not completely useless. He's the kill checker. So there's very, very few things that trigger off of death. Oops, wow. Why did I think one of those was in the last slot? I don't know why I just did Weaver there. But we'll go to that, go for another one down. And we'll kill it with, I guess, an eye. If we get a cascade somehow. Hey, the one gem actually did something. Also, this is one of the few weapons in the entire game where the one brown gem spawn it does is actually good and not bad. And the main reason for that, well, there's two reasons. One is it uses brown, which is nice. But the main reason is because of things like Titan and stuff like that. Because you get that one brown, and then that one brown could potentially give you a barrier. It's very rare that the +1 gem, or the one gem spawn's ever good, but that is one instance, very, very rarely, where it is actually pretty decent. And even when it misses, like right there, it still gives us more brown to have, so we could potentially take a brown for a barrier in the future. It's still bad, it's just not a negative effect, whereas on some things it's actually a negative effect more so than a positive. Yeah, let's go double kill with, okay, that works too. I was gonna double Megavore, but I guess instant killing with one of our two Megavores works. And then we'll take this one, and then we'll take the final one. It'll let me click. You just got the event done with no purchases, or wow, that's a lot of Valravens then. I ended up doing it with two, though we might not even need them, depending on how lucky we get with Valraven luck. So I might have completely wasted them, but then again, is it really ever wasting them? We get pretty good value from doing delves. Like every delve we ever do is a pretty decent loot when you're doing this low down, because you can take every single room. Okay, let's just, wait, why did I do that? There's no point in sculling there. I'll throw a Megavore, and dead. There we go. And let's finally take the final one. Okay, we'll take a brown over. Take another brown over. Go get an eye down. Go get another eye down. Can you please stop hitting the exact same target every single time? Third brown, let's go. There we go. Okay, throw a Weaver. Did that. What else? We'll take a red over. Yellow. Kill that annoying thing. And what do we move? I guess we'll try for a random brown. Hey, we actually got it. 50% chance, go. Hey, we got that as well. And we just Weaver him for the win. No more spell reduction for you, now that you're just a little baby dragon. Oh, you got Megavore finally, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, he's great to have around. He's a great armor tier, great for delves, great instant kill. One of the better imperviouses in the game. Okay, that's what I like to see. Just ingots and shards. That's exactly what we need literally every single time. If we could do that 100% of the time, that'd be great. How far are we on? Oh, yeah, we actually didn't need those extra battles. We would have reached it without actually buying those extra 2. Fail. Well, I guess I didn't need to do those. I should have just waited. We wasted 90 gems. No, that's, like, not really that important. But, oh, well. Oh, I didn't even realize it. It actually gives you some gold. Not like it's that important to get gold off of it, but that's cool. I guess to upgrade your horde and stuff. Horde costs way too much gold, though. If we're going to go put 1 gold into one of these delve thingies... Hey, someone got a sacred treasure. But if we're going to go put a bit of gold into one of these, like let's just say one of these, and go upgrade it some. Let's see, what am I looking for? I'm looking for, not that. I'm looking for horde. It's going to cost us 20,600 just to put a single treasure in here. That is absurd. But let's go and use all these on Hall of Guardians, I guess. I still need to get this thing so much more upgraded than it is now. What do we get? Come on, troops. Ooh, a little bit of everything. Got Silent Sentinel as well. But yeah, I don't want to see treasure, and if it is treasure, I want to see high rarity treasure. I mainly just need troops. That is not a troop. Those are also not troops. Only 3. No rares at all, either. Come on, give us more rares. That's the one that's going to take the longest to get upgraded. There we go. We got 4 and another legend. I think that's maxed on the legend. That's nice. Okay, let's see how Hall of Guardians is doing. Also, let's just do 2 more individually. Chalice, that's useless. And gold bag, that is the worst possible drop you could ever get. Okay, so let's go check, processing. Troops, that's not what I'm looking for. I meant to go to Hall of Guardians, but I meant to go to the troop side of Hall of Guardians and see how far we were upgraded, which is probably not that far. We still have quite a bit to go, but we need it for White Helm upgrading. Okay, so we can finally upgrade Silent Sentinel, so that's nice. We'll just do that immediately then. That is a Mythic Silent Sentinel. To save us some souls, we'll just use an orb, because there's no other purpose for these, really. There we go. Oh, but we had an achievement to go do that, too. How perfect is that? We got 1,200 free souls for our orb, and it was something we were going to do anyway, so that worked out nicely. That was a bit too perfect. So now we need more copies of Gargoyle. We need 4 more copies, right? Yeah, 4 more copies. And then we just need, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to go all the way on this. I might use an orb, I might not. We need to get, like, 20 more copies of this guy. Yeah, we do. Exactly 20, actually. So that might not happen. We might just orb him. We're definitely going to have, or orb the Ethereal Sentry. It's always the hardest to get the rare all the way up. So we would normally just get it to Legend and orb it. But I'm pretty sure we can get Gargoyle up naturally when trying to get this thing. But, not to mention, next Hall of Guardians event, we could go and throw... actually, right now we could if we wanted to too, but that might be a waste. We can actually buy more copies of the Epic if we really wanted to. Like, right now, we could buy one for 120. We can then go buy another 0 of them. Then another 2 of them. And then another 2, and then another 1. I don't think that would be too worth it, though, especially since we're not doing most of these battles. Maybe up to this point it would be, and definitely not any further than that. Anyways, let's go and backtrack to back to this. How far is our rewards? We're almost there. We have 4 delves, probably more towards 6, since we're probably going to find 1 Valraven between now and the end of these 4 delves, especially since we're doing every room. Okay, well, we'll get an eye down. Throw a Weaver if we can. Move that instead. Get a Weaver. Go from there. And then we'll just kill it with, I guess, a Megavore. Arcane Traitstone should be added to the Delve chest drop. Arcane Traitstone should be added to the Delve chest drop. I don't know. I don't think they're really that needed in there. Like, that wouldn't be good for endgame players, that's for sure. But, I don't know. It is a pretty high tier resource. I just feel like that'd be adding a lot of drops, though. Because you have to keep in mind, anywhere they ever add an Arcane drop, that's like 21 additional drops to the drop table, or whatever that is. There's a lot of Arcanes in the game. Every combination of, well, every color combination there is how many there is. Did you see your question? What's good Megavore team that doesn't have any mythics, other than Megavore, obviously? But, you can use them into Alchemist Moneylender. Alchemist Moneylender, I was going to say Wardbreaker with it. But Alchemist Moneylender, Megavore, Queen Titania was working okay last time I tried it. Other than that, you can use it in basically any Gorgolfa team. Place it behind a Gorgolfa and go from there. And you can just use brown mana generation off an Apothecary to give both of them the mana you need. I'll move this brown over. Get a free instant kill off of that. Throw down the eye. Another instant kill off of that. Good. Go throw down another eye. We get like a nice Weaver in there. Alright, never mind. We don't even need it. Just kill with Megavore. And down it goes. Okay, what's this one? 1.2, 1.15, 1.15, 1.15. How many 1.15s are in this delve? Let's see, what was these again? Were both of these? Wow, we have 4 1.15s in this delve right now. Okay, let's go take the bullet. I'll probably regret this, but we should be able to kill it quick enough. It's still lower battles. Biggest issue will be killing second slot quick enough right now. Also making sure we don't give him mana. I could have double yellowed there. Oh well. I'll go take that over. Get a nice eye on him, go from there. What do you think about the team you mentioned above? Thanks in advance. You haven't tried yet because you have Gorgolfa. Oh, you just moved us. You should try Gorgolfa, Scorpius, Dawnbringer, and Yali. Would Dawnbringer be for? I could see using that team, but you would need to replace out Dawnbringer for not Dawnbringer. I will throw another Weaver. He's gonna move us again. Okay, let's go and just kill it out so we don't have to deal with him. And then we'll one-shot the other guy as well. And now we gotta deal with Eye in last slot, which basically means we no longer have Dragon's Eye for the rest of this delve. Meaning we have to play it out normally, basically. Might almost just be more efficient to kill the first Megavore at this point. Yeah, we're not getting full mana on our last slot ever again now. Going down the Weaver route is the best rate at this point. So I'll move that over. There's still not a good kill range for the Weaver, though. Best kill range would be 1 Megavore into a kill off a Weaver. Like, they're not low enough where we can one-shot them with Weaver, but they're also not high enough that we can kill them with a Megavore into a Weaver. The range where they just die to a Megavore cast, but they can't die to a Weaver, is really annoying. What's a good Megavore team with no other mythics? Did I just answer that? It's Gorgolfa, Apothecary, Megavore, and one other troop, probably your hero using something. You can also go Alchemist, Moneylender, Megavore, and then any good red cleanup troop like Queen Titania or Yagway or any of them. Even a Goblin Rocket would work. Okay. Let's go and kill that one out. He's also in Megavore range now. If we go Megavore and then Weaver, he will die on the one right there. So we'll go for that strategy. Okay, we'll take some blues there. Get a Megavore, throw the Weaver. And that'll be that. There we go. And we'll take another skull. And then just explode. Okay, we'll take a skull over. Take a skull. Take a purple. What else we need? I guess we'll take a yellow into anything. Grab that, take a free turn. Grab the green down there. And then we skull into Megavore. I mean, skull into Weaver. It's in a different location, so I think that's Megavore now, fail. Because normally my Megavore is in the second slot. Did it gain enough HP? No, it did not. You're 2 HP off from being able to get that combo. Let's throw that, and now it's useless. And all we have to do is just poke it with anything. And that's one explode does not count as anything. That was a little bit too low of the damage. Yeah, we are doing a code. We're doing a code after we finish out all points. We're probably going for about another hour or so. But yeah, as soon as we finish the final stage 8, we're giving out code. So probably in about 10 minutes or so. Maybe even less than that. they would stop moving us with bullets, it'd go a lot quicker. But yeah, it shouldn't take too long. Just this one delve is taking a bit longer due to the unfortunateness that happened to our team. Okay, what do we need here? We'll go take a, I'll take some reds. Go throw down a Megavore on you, who's actually perfectly in kill range. We'll go to that to get our explosion. Perfect. And we'll take that red over. Get a kill, and then we just do anything to kill the other one. Not literally, but that skull is enough if he doesn't take it. And he didn't take it, but he earned it. Really? Oh, why did I take that? I should have just went for Weaver. Or let him do the skull thing, so we could have taken it. But there we go. Any quick way to do the treasure event? Spam maps as quickly as possible and constantly look for what the next move is. You should look at the left side of the board, then the right side of the board, and keep switching and alternating, and doing it as quickly as humanly possible. But the only goal of completing out the map is as quick as you possibly can. Though do keep an eye when you're starting to get close to a 10 milestone, so that you could try getting another event gem by doing some actual good moves. But generally, you just take whatever you see immediately and just go from there, trying to end the map in as short as amount of time as humanly possible. But yeah, I'll go show it in a moment. I think I'll be completing out the event. Definitely on my main account, maybe on the other account as well. It'll definitely help it out, that's for sure. There, move that over, move that over. But yeah, it's a really good event to do for newer players for sure. Later in the game, it's still okay, because you just get an absurd amount of gems from it, which is nice. It's just doing it's a bit tedious, but it only takes like an hour or two. Because you have to do like the same really, really minimal thing every single time. Did you really not die to that? What do we need? Let's go take the brown. Actually, you know what? We might as well just go for Weaver at this point. Get a Weaver. Didn't get the cascaded mana, but we'll just go for the purple. Please, Surge. What are you doing? Oh, we'll go take a brown. Get that. Throw that down. Still not enough damage because of the reduction. You know what? I should have threw Megavore and then did that. Oh, well, too late. Let's take that. Go get Megavore. Slowly kill them one by one. And he is impervious, so we don't need to worry about silence. We'll let him have a skull. Why not? Yeah, a lot of value out of that. Okay, don't kill first slot. It's not going to matter if you do, but don't. Okay, good. He didn't. We'll go kill out with... that should be enough damage, right? No, of course not. But he is in Weaver range, so let's go get a Weaver on him. And that should double kill. And that'll be that. Let's take the last little bit of our mana. It's not available anymore. Go to the last of our mana. And double dead. There we go. Okay. Got a level 8 chest. See what's inside. Don't give us useless golden souls. We don't need golden souls. At least not from this game mode, we don't. Anyways, yeah, as far as how to do treasure hunt as quickly as possible, you go into treasure hunt, click on it. Now you just alternate from side to side, or from top to bottom. So we'll take this, we then just go to that, start taking them preemptively, start going to one side and go to the other. And the main reason you do one side and then the other is just because due to cascades, it might end up ruining your side that you're currently taking on. But yeah, it takes a lot of hand-eye coordination to do it like super, super, super quick. But basically you go from one side of the board to the other side of the board and just keep alternating between the two, trying to find whatever move you can take as quickly as possible. And you just do it this way just so you don't accidentally interrupt the other side. Because if you're going to take it like from above, whatever, or from below or something like that, you can sometimes ruin that area, and then whatever move you're about to go take is not there anymore, which makes it go a little bit slower, obviously. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole strategy. Go from one side of the board, go to the other side of the board, take the first move you see. As it's cascading at 4 times speed, try figuring out where on earth the move is in like that split second. And just do this over and over again until the event is completed. And that will, hey, 24, 2 times in a row. But yeah, that's pretty much how you would do this the entirety of this event. Assuming you have infinite maps, which most people have infinite maps. Even some newer players have infinite maps just because it's pretty easy to accumulate maps just because of Tyree, and you can get them with extra glory too. They're only 30 glory each. They're pretty cheap to obtain, or you could just farm Tyree for a few hours and get all the maps you need if you don't have that many. Now, this board isn't being as nice because the whole right side of the board is all congested. It doesn't give us as many options. Also, trying to hit extra turns and stuff like that is pretty much completely irrelevant. Unless you're getting close to a 10 milestone, in which case you might want to do it if you're paying attention to it, but it's not that important. Also, you generally don't want to get those like really big chests. It's fine if you do. I mean, you're mainly doing it for the event gems anyways and all the rewards you get. But it does slightly reduce our resources since we're trying to complete it out as quickly as possible. Although we did get 2 glory keys out of it, oddly enough. But yeah, that's basically what you would do over and over and over again until you have completed out all of this event. And yeah, there isn't really any way to do it quicker than that. You just have to have really, really good hand-eye coordination and just do that for like an hour straight or 2 hours straight. Probably takes more towards 2 hours if you're not doing it like extremely diligently. But anyways, let's go and continue with those. Hopefully we'll get another Valraven. If we did, we actually would have gotten it for free. We probably didn't need those 2 battles. I shouldn't have taken it. If we get a Valraven on this battle, we did not need to buy 2 battles, and we just wasted 90 gems. Not like that really matters, but we still get to do 2 more delves, if nothing else. Plus, we still got a little bit extra shards from it and stuff. Okay, we'll go and move the brown over. Throw a nice eye down. Take a bunch of browns. Take a bunch of browns again. And eye it. Get a weaver. And to go from there. It only takes an hour or 2, but it's an hour or 2 of maps. Yeah, pretty much. That's how I feel about maps as well. Like, it doesn't take that long, but it's maps. I do love the treasure hunt minigame. It's just not something I would play like a ridiculously large amount. Also, the only really bad thing about treasure hunt 2, other than the rewards are horrible for late game, but it has a really, really weird format of play that is the exact opposite of how you play in literally every other location in the game, which makes it somewhat off-putting, because the way the strategy is just the exact opposite. It doesn't teach you how to play. It teaches you how to not play, essentially, compared to the rest of the game, which can be a little bit annoying. If they ever make another minigame like that has like no combat, though I'm pretty sure they wouldn't do that because it's more profitable for them if it's if it requires like troops and stuff like that. But if they ever did make another game mode that's kind of like treasure maps in that you don't need any troops for it and it's just some kind of minigame, like a legitimate minigame that you just play, I really, really, really hope that the way that you need to move the board is more like how you actually do an actual battle compared to how maps are. Like Puzzle Quest ended up doing that pretty well. Like, the way that you would play some of the minigames in there, like, the technique that you would use is similar to some of the technique you would use in battle. But with Treasure Hunt, it's just the exact opposite. It's weird. It thematically doesn't make sense with the rest of the game. Okay, we'll go take the brown over. Take green. Get another Weaver down. Also, I really hope they make Puzzle Quest 3 sometime in, like, the next few years. That'd actually be really, really cool. I'm actually, like, ridiculously hyped for it, even though it's probably not happening anytime soon. By, like, not anytime soon, I mean it could be, like, 2020 by the time they even make hints that they're doing it. Okay, we'll go and we'll take that down. Another Weaver at it. Take a Skull over. Go throw down, I guess another Weaver at this point. And then just double Megavore. This was the first Delve event you got all the rewards for. Very nice. Really nice. Plus, you got enough shards to get all the troops you were missing. And maxed another area's horde quality. Very nice. Yeah, really important to get those horde qualities maxed. More so than the level. Like level 100 is still nice to get the extra renown and everything, but that max quality for every single delve is very, very important as quickly as possible, because you're basically getting a free +3 chest every single time. Also, yeah, it is true. We did not need a single what's it called? Gem. We didn't need to buy a single pack. We could have done it with 0 packs if we would have bought in 0 packs. Now we have 2 extra battles that we don't need. But oh well, that's 2 extra delves that we can go do for some free resources. But yeah, that is kind of needless now. I think at this point I might go delay the 3 delves that we currently have for today, or you know, the 3 delves that we can actually use, until tomorrow. Because you can do that. We can go through 1 per faction, and just go do those later, at a later time. I do really like that feature about delves as well. I I wish there was more delves so you could delay it for longer. But you can delay a whole day's worth of delves now that there's 3 kingdoms. So if we don't feel like doing delves today, because we were doing delves for, well, the entire time, we could just go put 1 delve into, or 1 map, whatever that thing is called. But we can put one of our map delve thingies into each one of the factions, and then there we go. We can just have them all for tomorrow. We go do 6 delves. And eventually there'll be 6 delves actually in the game, and then we could delay it for 2 days, and so on and so forth. And then when there's like 15, we could do almost an entire week. Actually, more so 18. Actually, probably more so 21. Oh, what was that? Hey, what was that? Was that my hair? A spider? A fly? It's something. I get so paranoid about little small insects. I hate insects so much. What do we need to move? We'll just go through a Megavore Rider or something. I still honestly don't understand. Like, I know from an economic standpoint, it'd probably be ridiculously hard to do. But we need to, like, separate all humans from insects. Like, why do we need insects around? Like, there's very, very little purpose. Like, there's some animals that for their ecosystem need it. But just move all those animals away. Just move all those insects away. And just never deal with them again. I know that would be a very long process, but you would expect in the modern age that we'd eventually be able to do something like that. Especially with, like, mosquitoes and stuff. Alright, we'll go and go get that. Like, where I used to live in New Jersey, it was, like, really, really, really bad. Like, there were actual deaths occurring because of the mosquito population. We'll go kill that out. Take a skull. And we'll stick some blues. I'm dead. I fully support my idea. Nice. I don't know, it just never made sense to me. Yeah, there probably are cities that are doing that around the world. Okay, we'll go take a brown over. We can get a nice Megavore down. Take a purple. Get another eye after we move something else. Hit the eye on... nothing's in kill range, so we'll throw another eye. Can you stop hitting the first slots? It's easy delves. We do not need the first ones to be hit. We need the last 2 to be hit. Oh wait, is he in kill range? Never mind, he was in kill range this entire time. What am I doing? I forgot. Skeletons have such ridiculously low HP value. Did I go over the event weapon? The event weapon for this faction? We went over it during the very first ever event. There's nothing you would ever use it for, though, so there wasn't really much to go over. It's, I would not advise using it. There's not a single instance you would ever bother bringing out that weapon. I like the theme of the weapon, it's just not useful for anything. And I really wish they would add more weapons that have movement. There is a gigantic lack of movement. Like, whenever I look at a game like Darkest Dungeon and then compare it to something like Gems of War, you just realize, like, how many movement mechanics Gems of War could be utilizing that they're not. And the mechanics are already coded. It's not like that would be an issue. They just need to add it to stuff. Just start giving more things more movement. Especially in delves, because your movement is locked in delves. So it'd be really great if they started adding some support troops that could reorder your team correctly, as well as just troops in general that can move and just, you know, help your team out. There's already, like, plenty of troops that move to first as your tank, but they could also add things that specifically do it to a certain slot just to reorder your team in case it gets disoriented, or something that moves like another troop to first. There is one troop that does that, but it's not really that good, and it's that one giant thing. But making them, like, really low mana cost, or if they do make it high mana cost, actually make it like an effective ability. But I don't know, you just add more movement options. There's so much you could do with it. Yeah, we were gonna have way too many delves, actually. This is probably gonna be the final delve, then we'll give out a redeem code, then we'll finish out the rest of them. And yeah, we're definitely gonna delay the other delves. There's no way we're doing the other 3 today. We'd be here till like midnight if we do. Oh, we'll take that down. And this is the other reason why people like doing that level 20 spam thing. Okay, move that over. Because if we did 20 spam the entire time, we'd be done by now with all of our battles. But then again, technically, if we didn't buy more battles, we'd also be done with all of our battles. Let's see. We'll go through a Megavore. Just gonna go and kill it with a hit, and that'll be that. Have I ever played Marvel Puzzle Quest? I have. I didn't care for it. It seemed too pay to win to me. Also, I'm not into Marvel at all, so. Though I might be seeing the new Venom movie with a friend. But, I don't know. I never really cared for the whole superhero thing. I still sometimes watch them just to, like, be able to chat about it with people and stuff like that who might go and see it and stuff. But, I don't know. Never been, like, a whole big on the whole superhero thing. Other than maybe Deadpool. But that's just because he's a fourth wall character. And those are very, very rare these days. Yeah, I don't know. Never been big on superheroes. Okay, we'll go take a brown over. Go take another brown. Get another eye on something. I guess we'll take that skull, why not? One less thing that you could possibly mess up on. Get a nice explosion on it. Go see if we can get some browns going. I guess we'll just take that. And then we can just Megavore into a nice Weaver. They put chemicals into the swamp so that there's no mosquitoes. Doesn't those chemicals mix in with other stuff though too? I only bought up to tier 2, and we didn't even need tier 2. Tier 0 actually would have been enough this time around to reach it. And we got mail. That mail is probably just our level. And we're almost there. One battle will bring us there. So after we finish this current delve, we'll give out the redeem code. Then we'll just finish up the rest and go from there. Actually, I might just finish the rest off stream. Since I overbought on them. Dun dun dun. But yeah. We'll give out a redeem code after that, go to the other thing. If you guys still have anything you want me to mess around with, let me know. What's a friend? I know, right? I haven't really been doing anything with people, like, in real life much. Like, I have a lot of friends online, but, I don't know. I just haven't really been doing stuff with actual people. It's kind of weird. Like, other than last week, it has been 5 years. Not counting last week. It's been 5 years since I ever, like, met up with someone just to... like, go out to the movies or just, you know, talk or anything. It's kind of weird. I've been trying to do that more. I don't know. I've just been, I don't know. I just feel like I don't really ever get out much. I don't mind that, though. I'm, like, really introverted, so if I really had to, I could say, like, sheltered away for, like, a decade, and I probably wouldn't even care. But, but still, I don't know. I've been feeling the need to as of recently, so I have been. Oh no, 1.3, I should have done you first. Oh well, let's go do that now. I know, you guys are my friends, but I meant like people who I actually like meet up with and stuff like that. But yeah, I know, I have a lot of online friends, like that's not an issue normally. That's probably somewhere in the several dozens or hundreds, depending on what you actually define as friends. But that's not normally the issue, it's just like actually meeting up with people and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I was sheltered away for a long, long time. Even in college, I never actually made a single friend in college, ever. Though, something pretty adorable did happen on my very last day, or one of my very last days. I am, like, ridiculously frugal, and I will use everything until it is, like, broken beyond belief. Like, I don't care if something's broken, I will still use it. If it is at least somewhat functional to its main goal without being a hindrance, I will still use it. And I had this really, really torn up backpack that I had all the way from middle school that I used pretty much all the way from middle school through all of high school, through all of college. And there was this one girl in my psychology class who saw that, and like obviously everyone saw it. Like it was pretty obvious how beat up it was over the years. And on the very last day, she didn't know that I was pretty much done at college at that point. I think I still only had like one other class I needed to do for summer because I missed one credit that I needed for my associate's degree. But she got me a backpack, and it was really a nice gesture. But yeah, I am way too frugal. And yeah, I didn't make a single friend in college, oddly enough. Like, I still talk to people occasionally and stuff like that, but it never, I don't know, I just never really met up in places. And it's just because of probably how introverted I am too. I always was the kind of person that went to like the library instead of like the mess hall to talk with people. I would just go to the library, either like study, just relax, sleep, or just look up on the internet or stuff, or go to, actually, some of the things I did was actually go to the, sometimes between classes, I would just go to the Gems of War forum and mess around with stuff. I was actually really active on the forums back then too. Like, you may notice I'm not on the forums too much for Gems of War these days, probably should again, but during college I was like excessively on them. Yeah, I don't know, and I just never really did it much. I find it really tiring having to like constantly talk with people and stuff like that. Like, I find it a bit easier when I'm streaming and stuff because I just consider it like talking to myself, even though I'm technically talking to you guys and everything. But if I'm actually like talking to another person, I fatigue like very, very quick. I can't last like more than 15 minutes or so before I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm done talking now, if I even last that long. I'm also really bad at conversation normally, not knowing like what to bring up or anything like that. I'm the kind of person that tends to talk more so about what I'm doing rather than anything else. Like, I don't do small chat that often. Like, I'll talk about what we're currently doing, and I can do that very well. But if it's actually just like hold a conversation and all the specific thing that we're doing is talking, not like anything else during it, I'm really bad at doing that. So we'll go through a poke at it. And there we go. Okay, so this room, final room, and then we'll give out a redeem code, and then we'll do whatever other last little things we need to go do, as well as any other questions or anything. The girl definitely wanted the tea. No. I don't think she did. She wasn't really giving any signs of it. It was just a completely kind gesture. She wasn't really doing it for any other motive. Yeah, we'll throw that down. Get the other one down. And then we'll just pretty much kill it out. Throw a Megavore into Megavore. Yeah, I know, the tier 4 is Crown, but we already have Crown. It's the same weapon every single time. It hasn't changed. It's just Guardian Crown. We already have Guardian Crown. You only have to buy it once. You don't have to buy it literally every time. You have to buy it for 410 gems once. But it comes back like every 3 weeks. Soon every 4 weeks once they add another faction. But yeah, we already have Crown. It's pretty useless. Cleanse Self. Gain 41 life armor. Move to front. The only thing it's really good against is like bullets and stuff like that, or I guess maybe Dust Devil. It's good if you get moved just once from the back, and then you can just move right back into position. But other than that, it doesn't really do too much. Silence is okay, Barrier is okay, gaining 4 mana is okay, Gold is bad. Its stats are just normal stats pretty much. And I've even bothered to upgrade it actually, because I just don't need it for anything. But I don't know, it's not really that many stats in relative to Delves. And like the main place you would need it to reorient your team is Delve, so yeah, it's just not that useful. If it boost ratioed, if they made Crown so that it boost ratioed off of the enemy life and armor, it would be useful. But in the current state that it is, it has really static value and just doesn't work that well in Delves. I wish they would tweak this to actually be good in Delves. The other weapon's pretty good in Delves. Wait, what was the one for Crypt? I actually forget what the Crypt weapon was. But I know that the Jar of Eyes is actually really good in Delves. It's basically a summoner explosion, which is good. That will never not be good. It's basically like Amnesia for lower mana cost, except it's a different summon. But anyways, let's go claim our reward here. Please be a blue orb. Show me the blue orb. Or purple. Preferably blue. Well, still purple. I'll take it. Well, that's that. We're probably not going to make leaderboard with the battles we have. Nope, we need 41,000. That is not happening. I can say that right now. Let's go open whatever last little shards we have for now. We'll go throw this 200 bulk and any other 20. And anything good? Genie lamp, another copy of that. I guess that's okay. I need like 3 more gargoyles. And another one of those. That is not a gargoyle. Anyways, that's that. Let's go delay our delves just so we have them for tomorrow. Put that in there. Boom. So now we have all-seeing, Guardians to go do. We'll go put one into there so we have a crypt. And we'll go try our luck at a crypt. I just call it all-seeing eye crypt. But there we go. We'll go try that. And yeah, now we have one of each. And we'll go do those later. Test our luck with the crypt. Have all-seeing eye for progressing it towards max. And Hall of Guardians because that's the one we'll be doing after we get Hall of Guardians. All-seeing eye to max. But anyways, let's go and just do the redeem code now. Let me go find where on earth that is, and after that, we'll just mess with dungeons and whatever other small things we have to go do. Okay, where am I looking for? Or where is it, I should say. Also, did she give me more codes yet? I don't think she did. We still have codes, but we only have enough to last till, like, next Monday. Hopefully she gave us more. And no, I actually did not get a reply from her. Oh, someone recontacted me from, like, a few years ago from Gems of War, though. Mr. Sammy. Do any of you remember Mr. Sammy? I don't know if any of you do. I was in his guild for a while. He was also, I believe, the first person in the game to reach level 1000 when they first made that a thing. He was pretty well known for a while in the game, for like a year or two. People, you'd have to be like really old school to know him. As well as DHJL, or I believe that was his name. Like those are like really, really old school people. Like DHJL is basically like what Tech9 was now, or is now. And Sammy was just the first person to reach 1000. He was pretty well known at the time. What was I looking for? I am looking for the code. I'm actually at the exact location for it. I just got distracted by the thing. Anyways, go to mail. Go to wherever that thingy is. That's not it. That is it. Oh, that's not it. That's the one of me requesting for more. That's not me actually having the codes. And there's our codes. Only have, oh wait, I might be careful. We might have to run out on Friday. Hopefully she gives us more tomorrow. Or else we might need to start using these a bit more conservatively. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 codes left. So that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we have enough till Saturday. That's it. So hopefully she gives us more. Because that means we have none on Sunday. And then also none on Monday. But she'd probably give us more on Monday before that stream, hopefully. If she doesn't by, hopefully, sometime this week. But yeah, I guess we have enough for the rest of the week. But there's a chance we might not have any on Sunday. But anyways, we'll worry about that when it comes up to that point. Anyways, let's go put this in. Double check that it even works. Put that in there. Boom. Nice. Double check the other one. Put that there. Boom. Boom. Backspace. Redeem. Put this over here. Paste. Boom. Copy it all. And that is that. And here you guys go. There. Oops. Wrong one. It's not where I need to go. And there you guys go. There's the redeem code. There is the place to go use it. gemsofwar.com redeem code section. You go and whatever your go under settings, whatever your invite code says in your game is what you put in. For invite code, the redeem code is what's over in chat, in both the chats above us and over to the right over there. And you just put it on the website there, gemsofwar.com redeem code section, or simply click the link. And it gives the same reward as always: 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. So what are our daily tasks, and are any of them worth repicking? No, kind of. I'll keep it. It's somewhat easier one to synergize with other stuff, so we'll keep it. But let's go exploring Glacial Peaks real quick. That's 1 gem key for free for doing almost nothing. And where's Glacial Peaks? Go to this, explore, and can we get a real explorer team? Do I not have a real explorer team set up? No, I do not. Let's get rid of this for a real explorer team. Sunbird. Sinbird. Sunbird. That should be a new troop, the Sinbird. For Sinner Mirage. Sunbird. What was the other thing I was looking for? Firebomb. Firebomb, firebomb, firebomb. Get a Forest Guardian, I guess. Since we're using Titan, we might as well just go the whole split damage thing. Wait, what's it called? Splatter damage? No, it's called, I forget what it's called. What's that one troop called? It's a brown-green insect beast thingy. That guy. The Midget Swarm. Or the Midge Swarm. Midget Swarm. But, yeah, that. Okay. Let's go with the +2 purple, +2 red, -1 yellow. And there we go. And now we just Sunbird. And we just use a Swarm if we need follow-up. This doesn't give us any hero XP, but we're using Titan, so it doesn't matter that we're not getting any hero XP. And then we just Sunbird kill. And we have that as backup. And we just have to do this 4 times. And we get a gem key. What good value. We're basically getting 2.5 gems per battle. That is really, really high amount of gems. Or more like 2.2, depending if you count it as 9 gems for a gem key. Hey, we got Celestial off that too. We always get the better Celestial, or we always get the better Arcanes whenever we just do it for like a short period of time. Like, we could try for an hour to get an arcane, yet if we're not trying, we're gonna get it in like 10 seconds. Hello, Bernardo, welcome. Now take the brown down, get our thing. Or a scatter. Oh, that's what it's called. I didn't actually see the word, but I guess I like saw it without seeing it. You're like, you know, when you, what's that called? When you look at it, but you didn't actually like focus on it to read it or anything like that. But then you still kind of remembered it because you saw it, even though you didn't actually pay attention to it. That's basically what that was. But anyways, I'm not going to bother doing the purple one. We'll just synergize it with something else tomorrow just so it goes quicker. And I'm not going to bother repicking it because that's a pretty decent task. Even though it's only 6 gems, it's really easy to synergize with almost any other task. But yeah, the only other thing we had was that, and then dungeons, I guess. We're getting a pet tomorrow, too. We're getting the Pan's Veil one. I'm not going to bother going over it. It is very, very, very useless, so there's really no point. Infernus or a second Fairish Ra? That's a hard choice. I'd probably say Infernus. It really depends. Are you planning on soul farming now to go get Dawnbringer and stuff? If you want to go and get Dawnbringer right now, I'd probably go for a second Fairish Ra. But if you're not planning on actually soul farming anytime soon, I'd probably just stick with one for now, and then eventually get it when you do plan on farming it. If you want Dawnbringer now, definitely go and get it upgraded, or get a second Fairish Ra. But Infernus is very useful. It'll help with PvP. It'll help with Guild Wars on all 3 days, red, purple, and yellow. And it's also could help you in Delves if you don't have too many other options currently. You already got the pieces in 500,000. You probably don't need a second Fairish Ra then. You got a good majority of the grind in already, so you probably don't need it. I would just stick with one Fairish Ra then. And maybe just passively use it with PvP teams and such. Because there's not really any PvP teams that run 2 of them. The really good farming teams that just camp challenges and stuff do use 2. And sometimes even 3. But as far as PvP, you really only ever need 1 if you're using it in that context. Are you sure you mentioned it before, but why not Twitch? Mainly because it's more profitable when you're a smaller YouTuber to do it on YouTube than it is to do it on Twitch. We were on Twitch at one point, but all of my people, or you know, everyone who was watching me was from YouTube. Like, barely anyone was specifically coming from Twitch to watch me. They were all just naturally using YouTube for the most part. So, yeah, we were at one point streaming at both. Or not really streaming at both, but we were doing video content on YouTube, obviously, and then streaming on Twitch. But at one point I was like, why don't I just do both on YouTube? And then we did, and then didn't look back. And now we have been since. And I don't know, if I could get partnered with Twitch, I would somewhat consider it. But even then, it probably just doesn't seem worth it. I'd rather set up the YouTube partnership thing than the Twitch's version. Because YouTube's version of it pays a lot better for smaller creators. Twitch is only really good if you're getting like 200 to 300 plus views per stream consistently, literally every stream. That is about the only time it'd be worth it to actually do Twitch instead. Also, if you were doing like a big name game, like Gems of War is like decent size, but it's not like a League of Legends or a or you know, like some kind of like really, really big out there game that has like thousands upon thousands of people just randomly watching other streams. Because no one's on Twitch right now just randomly looking for Gems of War streams. And the amount of population of people doing that's like 3 to 10 people, if even that many. So that's one of the main reasons. Like, if I was doing a game that was more friendly for Twitch, I probably would. But we currently don't. Like, one thing that I probably should do is whenever we do Darkest Dungeon, I should probably be doing that on Twitch instead of on the YouTube channel. Just because it would be received better on a platform like Twitch than on YouTube. Are you going to do anything special when you hit 10k subscribers? I don't know for sure. We probably should. Would make sense. But I do not honestly know what I will do for 10k subscribers at this current moment in time. I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, would love to hear them. Let's see. As long as you don't keep getting demonetized, that's not as big of an issue as for like a channel like this. And I don't ever like curse or anything like that, which is nice. So I don't need to worry about just randomly getting demonetized from stuff like that either. Normally the things that get me demonetized are like trying to say the word cockatrice and a few other things that I mispronounced so incorrectly that it sounds like other words. And then the auto thing like says, no, that's bad, and it like automatically demonetizes it. And then it takes like forever to get appeal, and then like all of the profit from the video just goes away, because by the time it gets appealed, like 99% of the views have already been on the video. But I don't know, if I go check my thing right now, I'm pretty sure there's like less than 5 videos I have that are demonetized. But still, they happen at really weird times that sometimes lose like anywhere from like $5 to $10 on a video, which can be very annoying sometimes. But anyways, let me go actually look that up real quick. I'm curious. I'll go through my thing. I'm not going to show it up on screen, but let's just go and double check like how many videos in like the last month, let's say, been demonetized. Let's see. Go into Creator Studio. We'll go into the thingy thing. Where's the thingy thing? Video Manager. Let's go through. Who knows? Maybe it's more than I think. It's normally streams that get it more so than videos. Let's see. Currently, nothing in the last month has been demonetized. At least not currently. It might have been for a short moment of time, a few of those. But at this current moment in time, not a single thing from the last month has been demonetized. There's one video, the Gems of War Center Mirage Teams video, ended up getting demonetized for some reason. Not like fully demonetized, it's like that partial not demonetized where it says not suitable for most advertisers. Maybe because it's talking about sin. Really? Just because I have sin in the title, it's not suitable? I'm pretty sure that's what triggered it, because it says sin in the title and in the tags and in the video like 100 times because I'm saying Sin and Mirage. Oh no, now this video is going to be demonetized. What, are you seriously not allowed to say the word sin? But I'll go get that fixed. Not like it's going to get much views, but yeah, that's the only thing demonetized in the last several months, or at least the last 2 months or so. Let me keep checking down. But yeah, it very rarely happens to me. Just because I normally don't do most of the things that tend to trigger it. Yet the Sin of Mirage Key videos didn't get demonetized, go figure. I have no clue what happened in the other video that would have caused it. But yeah, I'm back to August 8th right now, so that's 2 months ago, and we haven't gotten demonetized on anything. And yeah, it seems to be good then. But yeah, very, very, very few videos. And it's not even full demonetization. I don't think I've ever been full demonetized, except for one video like very, very early on when I used like copyrighted music, which obviously that would get demonetized. But yeah, I've never been full demonetized on any video that I just like randomly did. It's normally just partial demonetization. The partial demonetization is still bad because you lose more than like 80 to 90% of the value you would have gained from the video. So it's still very annoying. And there are some YouTubers, based on like the content that they cover, that they get demonetized a lot. Which can be a bit of an issue. But luckily that's not too big of an issue with this channel, for the most part. Let's see. Why would any video make you get demonetized? Mainly because the bots that control YouTube are oversensitive. And they like to demonetize for just about anything. Let's see. You think you need 100 concurrent viewers to get partnered on Twitch? Oh, you need more than that. You need around 300 average concurrent viewers. Even Salty had trouble getting her stream to be to get it partnered. The only reason she was actually able to get it partnered was because she knew a person, and because they're, well, you know, she's good with all that social media things, and they had a person who specifically, I think from 505 Games, that actually helped get the thing partnered with Twitch. And obviously I don't have the capability to do something like that. Also, our average is normally a bit lower. Our average is normally more towards like 50 to 150 more so than like the 100 to 200 range. And it actually says, if you go like to the partnership thing, you need like an average of 300 viewers per stream. If you're like a normal person who doesn't have people who can like help you get a partnership with Twitch, it does normally require an absurd amount of requirements that is normally not obtainable by the average person. You've been banned 7 times on YouTube for hate speech, really? I comment on a lot of videos and I've never had that happen, though I normally don't say anything that will offend anyone normally. I do have a lot of views that might be controversial and stuff, but you know, I don't normally try to start anything or anything like that. I'm not the kind of person that will just like randomly agitate someone just for the sake of doing it. I find that to be, I wouldn't say rude, but I don't know, maybe rude, but I don't know. I act pretty similar to how I do like in real life as I do online. So try to be respectful and things to people. You have to keep in mind that every single person out there, like there's every single account and everything, there are real people, and you have to be considerate of that and not just like randomly spew really weird things, or not even that, but just, you know, just be respectful and treat everyone nicely. But anyways, was there anything else we need to go do? What am I looking for? I don't think we really need anything else. But anyways, yeah, we'll go do the rest of those off stream. Not really much of a point to go do them now. I just wanted to get the good bulk of the rewards. But anyways, guys, was there any other questions? Anything guys you want me to go over? Otherwise, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for the pet. 2 hours prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nothing really too special. Pensville pet's pretty useless. But on Thursday, we'll be having the class event for Oracle. And then on Friday, we'll have, all weekend, we'll have something special. We'll have a new Mythic on Friday. And we should have Vault event all weekend as well. Dungeon? We already did dungeons. We delayed our delves, and we did all of the dungeon battles. And the few delves I haven't done, I'm doing off stream. Or, you know, the daily ones, the Tuesday ones. Let's see. Where's the next new account stream? I do not know. I really do want to start getting back to that. And we will be soon. I just don't know definitively, and I don't want to say a date, and just because I don't know for sure if I'll be able to hold to it. But we are going to be getting back into doing more of the lower level account. We haven't done too much with it. I do want to cover some videos too over guides over low level accounts, particularly what on earth you need to do to progress through the early part of the game. Because I feel like that's generally the biggest question people have, is how you actually progress from brand new, completely new account to getting through the game without spending a single cent. And there is a process to go through. And while I have covered it before, I don't think I've definitively done a video like, here is what you do when you first start out, and definitely not any recently, even if I have. So yeah, we probably will cover that pretty soon. It's basically a video going over what to do as a newer player, the order of things you do, things to prioritize, and stuff like that, so that you can go from not spending any money to getting into early game, or into mid game. Because the biggest issue is when you first start out in this game, as far as resources and everything. Once you start getting oriented and you start getting into like a bigger guild, if you're planning on doing that, you're pretty much good to go. Like after a few months of being in a good guild, you're pretty much good to go from there. What are the best skull spamming troops besides Bloodhammer? Keeper of Souls, Shegra, Divine Ishbala, nearly every double convert, and Furnace. Forest Guardian plus Divine Ishbala is a really good combo for it. But yeah, basically every double convert, Glaceon, Bloodhammer, Keeper of Souls, Skeleton, and that's about it, I believe. Maybe like one or two others. Do you suggest a delve team for daily delves and regular teams for events? Wait, do you suggest a delve team for daily delves and regular team for events? I don't know what you're asking there. Are you asking me to do that? As far as the cookie cutter teams you tend to do for raids and evasions, raids tends to be Mang, Raid Troop, Mana Generator, and any other supporting troop. And invasions tends to be, though not this week due to it being so flimsy, but it tends to be Invasion Troop, possibly a second Invasion Troop, either Earth's Fury if you use 2 Invasion Troops, or a Mountain Crusher to mana generate, or you can go and use just the Invasion Troop, then Mang, then one other supporting troop, and then a mana generator of some sort. As far as delves, the general structure is anything around Dragon Eye. Obviously that changes heavily per faction, but you can do Frontline Tank, Dragon's Eye, Mana Accumulator, and then anything. That anything would generally be something that can clean up the baby dragons. And yeah, just pretty much the general cookie cutter team you use for everything. And then PvP is just whatever you could use that's strong, that can do the most damage as quickly as possible. You should never use pure delve team in delves unless you're trying to just do it for a specific battle to get points. Doing it just constantly over and over again is not that advisable unless you had literally nothing else to use, but assuming you have Dragon's Eye, you have something else to use that's better, so I wouldn't really bother. You've been finding Earth's Fury is far more consistent as long as Invasion Troop has a skull damage trait. Oh yes, Earth's Fury, if you have that weapon, is the best weapon you can use with invasions. I personally wouldn't advise it as much this week, just because the current invasion troop does not have skull mitigation at all. But normally it's really good to use Earth's Fury if you have it. Unfortunately, it is one of those weapons that quite a few people don't have, because it was one of those that was added during like raids or invasions one week. Actually, oddly enough, I think it was added during raids, even though it's better for invasions. It's kind of weird. But yeah, if you have Earth's Fury, if you don't, Mountain Crusher's normally perfectly fine. Same difference, it's just you get a lot of mana to cast their abilities instead of a lot of skulls or attack value to get the more values off of skulls. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for coming down. We'll be back tomorrow night, as I mentioned, same time as always, 2 hours prior to now tomorrow. Yeah, I hope you all enjoy your week. Best of luck with everything. And we'll be covering the Mythics and everything and the Vault event this weekend. Goodbye, everyone.